Good afternoon and Happy New Year as we welcome you here inside Odell Arena on the campus of Taylor University for this afternoon's Crossroads League matchup between number 25 St. Francis and number 10 Taylor. Rick Johnson here with you. This is, as always, the Marion General Hospital pregame show. The Trojans come in 10th in the country. They try to continue to stay locked into that third position in the Crossroads League standings against the team that they're facing today in St. Francis. The Cougars, though, the big story for them, they are without their leading scorer and one of the top front court players in the Crossroads League in Kara Gurka for the third game in a row. They almost knocked off St. Francis did number 7 Division I Shawnee State in their last outing, but they were beat at the buzzer by a 3-point shot. So we'll see what the Trojans can do with no Gurka this afternoon, but the Cougars do have Lauren McBriar back after sitting out last year after tearing her ACL, and Savannah Buck, a capable point guard as well. We haven't talked to head coach Jody Martinez in over a month, so we'll take a quick break. We'll come back with a nice long conversation with the head coach of the Trojans here on the Marion General Hospital pregame show.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body. And its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Hospital pregame show. Now time to catch up with the head coach of the Trojans, Josh Andrews, before they jump back into league play this afternoon against St. Francis. The Trojans winners of 5 in a row after defeating Judson by 4 on Wednesday. Let's go back to Wednesday night. You guys come back from the Christmas break, get a nice little push there towards the end but against a good Judson team. You pick up your 5th win. What impressed you most about your team, particularly down the stretch when that game could have gotten away from you?
Yeah, I thought Judson, I told you the other day, I thought Judson really played well.
Jody Martinez. Show, and it's time to catch up with the head coach of the Trojans, Jody Martinez, for the first time in about a month. Feels like I should probably reintroduce myself or have you reintroduce yourself to the folks at home. But Jody, welcome back to home after a long Christmas break. How was the Christmas break for you and the family?
Oh, that was remarkable. I mean, it was a good time for everyone. It was good to have both daughters home and just to spend time, quality time, not just time, but quality time with them. And I'm sure the players enjoy their time with their family and friends as well.
You guys haven't played in a game in almost 3 weeks, dating back to that win over Concordia back in December. How has the long break been, do you think, for the team, and how have they looked in their first couple days back on the practice floor?
Yeah, I mean, I'm banking on that the rest is going to help us. I mean, we had a brutal schedule in November, and then, of course, the academic finals, and then 4 games in December, and they hadn't had a free Saturday since September. So, I'm a big believer in rest. The question is going to be, was it too much? That's the only way we're going to answer that question is, of course, the game today. And so hopefully the practices, they've been looking awesome, good energy. And so check mark those first 2 categories. Now we have to have a carryover into the game.
What do you work on in practice? Not obviously tactically because we don't want to give any secrets away, but what do you try to work on in practice? And do you do any tests to maybe see how much your players did work during that breakaway?
Yeah, each kid's different. I mean, just because of their athleticism. We came back, had a 3-hour practice, but it was nothing but drills, no X's and O's in terms of game plan. We did that Thursday, Friday, preparation for each opponent of 2 days. And so I felt like like I said, the energy was there. They looked fresh. They wanted to scrimmage more, which was a good sign. But in terms of what I've seen so far, I'm really happy with them.
And you've had an extra bonus as well at practice the last couple of days. Jamie Netzley has finally been able to don a practice uniform and participate in practice instead of just watching from the sidelines or doing cardio. What's it been like to have her back on the floor and also with the energy that she has that also has boundless amounts of?
Well, it's nice to have her back, first of all. Secondly, she's realizing she's got to be patient. She's a month or a semester behind, 2 months, 3 months, 3 months almost of players' timing, execution, all those kind of things. And yesterday was kind of obvious too. She was getting a little frustrated with her skill level with the other girls. But I mean, mentally she knows the game. It's just physically her body's not ready. But she's back on the court. We'll work on the conditioning. We'll work on when she'll be effective for us, and maybe there'll be opportunity to get her a minute or two. But right now it's hard to tell because the other kids are so ahead of her.
But she will dress today against St. Francis, correct?
Correct. That is correct. She'll be in uniform. She'll be called upon if we get into a situation where we need Jamie. But I love having left-handers, and Jamie brings a different dimension to the system, being left-handed, and we'll see. I mean, she was playing so well before the injury. She was actually projected to start. So now I think she's just motivated just to get back on the court right now.
Let's talk about your opponent today, the St. Francis Cougars. They come in tied with you for third place in the Crossroads League standings at 3-2 overall, but they are projected to be without one of their top players in Kara Gurka, one of the top frontline players in the Crossroads League. She's missed the last 2 games. We've heard from the sports information staff at St. Francis they do not expect her to dress today. So how's that made them a different team the last 2 times out?
They're talented. I mean, they're good. I mean, St. Francis is good. They've lost a couple close games. I mean, their records could be almost identical to ours, but they're 1-1 without Gurka. But the loss is to Shawnee State at Shawnee State. St. Francis had the lead up 2 with under a minute to go with the ball, ended up losing on a last-second 3. And that was without Gurka. And so, Shawnee State's ranked in the top 5, top 10, and D1. So they're still quality players there. They're just deeper than they were last year. McBriar's back who didn't play last year from the knee injury. Well coached. Jason does a great job there, X's and O's and just strategies. And it's going to be a battle today, and it's good. I mean, this conference is the second best conference in America. Hopefully we can one day be the best conference in America.
How, as you mentioned, McBriar coming back from injury, she tore her ACL in preseason work last year, so she didn't even play a game a season ago, and she was a preseason All-Crossroads League selection, one of the top guards in the league. How do you think she's coming back from that ACL tear? And you being around as long as you have, you've seen your fair share of ACL tears and know how long that recovery road can be.
Right. Like you said, she didn't play at all last year, had the surgery and all that stuff. From what I've seen on film from November till now, she's already better. She has no knee brace on now. The last 4 games I've watched on St. Francis, she has one of the quickest releases I've seen. I wasn't here when she did play, so in the preseason voting, I just trusted the other coaches on their respect for her, and they spoke highly of her, so she must have been a good force 2 years ago. But what I've seen on film, that if you put your hands down on defense, she's going to shoot right over you, and you can't react to it. But she's playing really well offense. One of her weaknesses is still lateral defense, just because of the knee and the strength and the timing. And so, but she's definitely a good ball player.
Last thing is we talk with head coach Jody Martinez before the Trojans jump back into league play today. And we talked at the beginning of the interview about Christmas time and having your 2 daughters back home. Well, that's kind of amplified now because your oldest daughter, Hannah, is now transferred here to Taylor, and she is taking a J-term class. What's it been like to have the Martinez band back together and have Hannah here? And also, we might see her on the bench a little bit as well.
Yeah, she wants to learn how to coach. And she missed playing soccer, so she's got 2 years of eligibility for soccer starting the fall of 19. So academically, she's in J-term now and will be here for second semester. She's been to our practices, kind of sitting with the manager, Shelby, right now, but she wants to get involved. And, of course, as a dad, I mean, who can't be excited about that? But I'm more excited about, teaching someone who's got the passion to coach one day, and it happens to be my daughter. So, yeah, the Martinez household is very excited. Sonia has been thrilled ever since Hannah's been home from her final exams from Belmont University, and now she's a Taylor Trojan.
So we talked to you obviously during the basketball season. You've made appearances during baseball season in the spring. Can we just get a whole year of Jody Martinez and have you come on during soccer in the fall of 19?
I tell you what, I might have missed my calling. I might, I'd be your sidekick, like our Batman Robin kind of thing here. And of course, I would be Robin because you're just, you're way ahead of the levels of anyone at this job. But no, Rick, I enjoy those opportunities when you give it to me. I'm going to take advantage of it because I love sports. I love interacting with all the coaches in our department, and I try to support all the teams when they have a home event.
And it's always good that baseball and soccer have indoor press boxes, right? So we don't have to sit outside in the elements when it gets cold.
That's probably the best part of doing your job is the environment. And then especially when you had food and beverages, and you're right up my alley there.
Jody, thanks for the time and good luck.
Thanks, Rick.
Thank you. And now for today's starting lineups, first for the visitors from St. Francis. At forward, 5'9" sophomore from Greenwood, Indiana, number 5, Sydney Crow. At forward, 5'7" sophomore from Mooresville, Indiana, number 10, Lauren Brown. At guard, 5'6" junior from Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 20, Savannah Clark. At forward, 6' sophomore from South Bend, Indiana, number 30, Emma Appleby. And at forward, 6' sophomore from Fort Recovery, Ohio, number 31, Whitney Will. The Cougars are coached by Jason Ridge. He's assisted by Tom Green, Scott Bessel, and Paige Frisch. And now, fans, get on your feet for the starting lineup for your Taylor Trojans. At guard, 5'7" senior from Columbia City, Indiana, number 14, Aubrey Wright. At guard, 5'7" senior from Crawfordsville, Indiana, number 22, Lacey Garrett. At forward, 5'11" senior from Highlands Ranch, Colorado, number 32, Kendall Bradbury. At guard, 5'11" junior from Angola, Indiana, number 40, Abby Bucks. And finally at guard, 5'11" junior from Angola, Indiana, number 44, Becca. Your Trojans are coached by Jody Martinez. He's assisted by Natalie Young and Cassidy Bond.
So the Trojans tried out their normal starting five that we've seen for the majority of the season. Taylor comes in 12-4 overall, 3-2 in Crossroads League play. Their two losses in league action to Bethel here on the home floor and in overtime at Marion back in 2018. St. Francis comes in 4-4 on the road. They're 11-6 overall, 3-2 in league action. And Taylor is 7-1 here at home. The only setback, that home loss here, as we mentioned, against Bethel. The Trojans will be in the home white uniforms this afternoon with the purple lettering on the front and the gold numbers trimmed in purple. St. Francis are in the road black. They have white numbers on the front and back and the blue Cougars on the front. Remember, no Kara Gurka this afternoon for USF. She misses her third game in a row. The 5'10 junior from Fishers, Indiana. It'll be White and Bradbury to jump, or Will and Bradbury to jump, I should say. Bradbury wins it, and Taylor has the opening possession. They go from left to right to start this ball game off. B-Books up top, wide open to shoot a three, and that one's long off the back rim. Bradbury gets the rebound. Her bank shot was too strong. The ball tapped into the air multiple times before Bradbury comes down with it, and a reach-in foul in traffic is whistled here against someone from USF. That's Whitney Will, her first. She's coming off of a career-high 20 points in the loss last Sunday at Shawnee State. Garrett left side high to the far sideline. Wright goes down low to Bradbury, who lays it in. A slick little feed from Aubrey Wright. And then Kendall Bradbury had one-on-one defense, and she got fouled and banked it home with a left hand. So a couple defensive slips here early on for the Cougars, and the foul goes against Sydney Crow. Bradbury, an excellent free throw shooter. That one short, but it bounces in. And it's a 3-0 Taylor lead. They left B. Books open for a straightaway three that she missed long, and then a switch got caught up, and that allowed Bradbury to get free for free error with one-on-one defense. Now the Trojans force a steal. It was deflected by Abby Books and stolen by twin sister Becca. And now Bradbury will run the point. She'll stop and pop a three, and that one just off the left side of the rim. Right jumped into the air. She hung and was able to tap the rebound down to herself. She's caught up with a double team. She'll work it over to Abby Books on the high left side. Floating it down low to Becca, who maneuvered away from a defender. That was Savannah Buck, and then B. Books banked it in. A nice little jaunt for the start for the Trojans on a 5-0 burst. First shot on the other end, and it's ganged in on a three by Emma Applegate. Applegate was just 1 for 4 in that loss to Shawnee State on Sunday, but the sophomore center from South Bend knocks down the first triple. So the first shot of the afternoon goes down for USF after they turned it over on their opening possession. Taylor with the ball up 5-3. B-Books a fake and drive, almost lost her balance, got the runner off. It just glances off the right side of the rim, and the first rebound is in for Lauren McBriar. She'll run the floor, far sideline to Crow from the right wing, steps inside the arc with Garrett hounding. Bad entry pass, and Bradbury steps in front. She's tied up with Crow, and it's a held ball. It'll stay here with USF, but that's the second time in the early going that we've seen Taylor get their hands in the passing lane and almost forced the second turnover by St. Francis. 19 to shoot for the visitors. USF, the 25th ranked team in the land. Taylor, the 10th. Buck will get it in. Crow left block, trying to back down the shorter right. Steps in, missed the shot. Then Crow got her own rebound. She'll go to the right side of the rim. Her bank shot was too strong, but nobody gets the rebound for Taylor, and Crow gets another crack. She almost travels in the paint, and she does. A left-hand dribble almost got away from her, and then she tried to set those feet in the paint. Crow travels with it. There's the second turnover by St. Francis, but Taylor head coach Joni Martinez, who was sporting a new purple polo shirt this afternoon, he might have gotten it for Christmas, was not happy with the lack of rebounding prowess there by Taylor on the last possession. Trojans with the rock from left to right in white. They lead by 2, 5-3. B-Books up top. Right calls for it. Back to the near sideline, and Abby Books. A double team against Bradbury on the block, so the other 4 players will have to do the offensive load. Garrett will skip it to the near corner. Abby Books with the shot clock below 10. Her three was halfway down and out. Bradbury rebound, left hand, put back, glass, good. Bradbury has outscored USF by herself. She's got 5, and Taylor leads 7-3. 2.5 minutes into the opening quarter. Will trying to get away from Bradbury, pivoting. A left-hand shot is missed off the right side of the glass and rebounded by Bradbury. Garrett out for a run. Black jerseys in front. No-look whip to B-Books for a transition three, and it's good from the right side circle. So B-Books with 5, Kendall Bradbury with 5. Timeout and a bloody nose for USF's Savannah Buck. And it's a timeout on the floor here by the officiating crew, as Buck is checking that nose. Alexis Torben and Dejanay Hinton check in here for USF, as Buck will get looked at by the athletic training staff. So it's either a cut on her upper lip or a bloody nose, as she's getting attended to right now. A 10-3 Taylor lead, 5 from B-Books and 5 from Bradbury. 3 minutes gone here in the opening quarter. Here's Hinton, defended by Aubrey Wright in the man-to-man. Crow far sideline, marked up by Abby Books. Hinton, right side circle. Left-hand dribble down the left side of the lane. Wright cuts her off. Spinning back into the lane up top. They try to work it over to Torben, who just came in. McBriar, double team pounce. It comes from B-Books. McBriar falls down with 2 to shoot. And Abby Books almost steals it. And with the shot clock at 1, Abby Books will be whistled for the reach-in foul. Right after McBriar came around the screen, B-Books pounced on her, and they almost were able to get McBriar to fall and travel with it. She kept the dribble alive, and then the Trojans bail out USF with a second on the shot clock. The clock resets as Hinton will hold on the right side arc. High left side to Will, defended by Bradbury in the man-to-man. USF in black. They trail 10-3, 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. Bradbury pounces on a switch around the screen. McBriar from the far sideline, right is right in her grill. Will right block, spins on Bradbury. Good help defense from Garrett, but they get Lacey Garrett for the reach-in, as they say that when she came in on the help side double team, her hands were leaning forward instead of straight into the air. First on Garrett, the second one against Taylor here in the first quarter, and that puts Whitney Will to the line for 2. Will, a 69% free throw shooter this season. That one was halfway down and then bounces out. Savannah Buck back in. She has got some gauze stuffed up the right nostril to stop the nosebleed that she attained a couple minutes ago. and she replaces McBriar on the floor. Will makes the second. First scoring from someone not named Emma Applegate. And the Taylor lead down to 6 at 10-4. Still Bradbury and B. Books, the only with 5 points apiece. They've outscored USF by themselves. Here's Bradbury up top, defended by Hinton. Now to B. Books, and Hinton switches on or off the screen. Make this Abby Books. Garrett right side circle with Buck defending. Crossing over to her left hand, down the left side of the lane. Garrett cut off, ball loose on the floor, knocked out of Abby Books' hands, and is turned over by the Trojans first time today. Buck will run right in around everybody. Her left hand shot catches the rim and goes in. Nobody stopped the ball for the Trojans. That's 3 in a row for USF. And they're back to within 4, down 10-6, almost halfway home here in quarter one. Hinton guards right on the perimeter right. Float to the left side. B. Books wants her second three of the afternoon, and that one's good from the left wing. 8 for Becca Books here in the opening quarter. A 2 and then 2 3 balls. And Taylor up 13-6. Crow wants to answer other side with a 3, and that one's nothing but net. So back to a 4-point Taylor lead after B. Books cashed in on her second 3 of the afternoon. Garrett will run the point. Buck waits for her up top. And then Garrett will get it back from right. B. Books wants that third 3. That one's long from the high left side. Hers just her second miss from 3-point range. And Dejanay Hinton hauls down the rebound for USF. Crow high right side. Up top between the circles to Torben. Torben will set the right side screen. Hinton takes. Will right side circle to Buck on the far sideline with Garrett defending her. Buck got into Garrett's body. They call Buck for the offensive foul as she lowered the shoulder. First on Savannah Buck, third one against USF here in the quarter. Emma Applegate back in for USF. She replaces Whitney Will. And Lauren James and Meredith Deckard, a couple dead-eye shooters, check in for the Trojans. They spell whom? Abby Books and Lacey Garrett as Taylor calls to the bench for the first time today. A 13-9 Taylor lead. They're 5 of 11 from the floor, 2 of 6 from downtown. Aubrey right up top. They find a wide open Kendall Bradbury. She got it loose. A terrible defensive lapse by USF. And the Crossroads League preseason player of the year has got a first quarter 7. Taylor up by 6 as the Trojans apply pressure in the backcourt. Crow fakes and drives. The Trojans scream for a travel. Crow got it knocked out of her hands, got it back. She'll throw it up near the timeline, and Buck's able to gather it back in. Deckard defends Buck on the high left side. Beck picks up the bounce as Taylor rotates in the 3-2 zone. Shot clock down to 8. Hitting baseline left, right with the back tap. It goes out of bounds. It stays with St. Francis with 6 seconds to shoot. USF 3 of 6 from the floor. Taylor 6 of 12. McBriar back in. She replaces Sydney Crow. 6 to shoot. Buck. Again with that gauze up the right nostril. Will deal it in from the baseline right with 6 to get a shot off. Floating it up over the head of the intended target, Applegate. McBriar gets it back. Thought about a 3 with 3 seconds to shoot. James knocked it away, but they'll get Lauren for a reach-in with a shot clock at 2. Second time that Taylor has bailed out USF with a foul with the shot clock either at 2 or 1 second. First on Lauren, and the third one against Taylor in the quarter. Shot clock resets at 30. McBriar open for a 3 ball off the inbounds play, and McBriar rattles it home. McBriar was just 4 of 12 from distance in the last game on Sunday, but that makes it a 1-possession game on her first bucket of the night, or the afternoon. Wright tried to throw it cross court. Buck intercept for USF. 3-on-3 break. James cuts her off, but Buck keeps the dribble alive. Picks up to the cutting Applegate in the paint. Outside to Hinton, far sideline. To the right block and Applegate. Down low to the cutter Torben, whose shot was thrown too strong off the glass. Meredith Deckard with a rebound for Taylor. Will flip it outside to B. Books. Finds Bradbury, who's got the defender pinned around her, and Bradbury lays it in. 9 for Bradbury. She hustled down the floor and pinned Torben on her hip. 9 first quarter points for Bradbury, and Taylor leads by 5, 17-12. They jumped out to a 5-0 lead. They have not trailed since. Buck thought about a left side circle 3. James forces her to drive, and James bumps her on the attack. That's Lauren's second foul. Fourth one against Taylor in the quarter. Huffman, Stratman, and Abby Books will all come in for Taylor. Whitney Will returns for USF, and she replaces Torben. So Wright, James, and B. Books exit. It's Deckard, Stratman, Bradbury, B. Books, and Huffman. Inbounds play just rolls off the rim, intended for Applegate. She tried to tap out her own miss, and Stratman, who almost got beat on the play, is the one that comes down with the rebound for Taylor. 3 minutes left to go in quarter number 1. Taylor has led the entire way, and they lead by 5 right now, 17-12. They go from left to right in white. USF defends in the man-to-man. They are in black. McBriar switches on Huffman after the handoff up top. 10 to get a shot off for Taylor. Huffman to Stratman, left sideline. Thought about a 3 with 7 to shoot. Now 6, now 5. Stratman dribble, pull up 3 ball off the back of the rim. And the only one down there is Dejanay hitting for the rebound for USF. The Cougars push it up the floor, hitting down the left side of the lane, right around her defender, but she missed the right-hand layup strong as Abby Books pulls down the rebound for Taylor. Second time the Trojans have not stopped the ball handler on a fast break, but this time USF can't get a bucket. Here's Bradbury right around, hitting right side layup, will just miss off the left side of the rim as Bradbury now 4 of 7 in the quarter. Still a 5-point Taylor lead. Buck to make it a 1-possession game. The sidewinding 3 was no good. Bradbury couldn't get the miss. Will can't get the putback. Buck crashes around everybody and will still try to snap the rebound away. Deckard will save it on the baseline. Rebounding has not been Taylor's strong suit here in the opening quarter, but the Trojans able to snatch one away there. Here's Deckard weaving around everybody. Her floater, it's pretty off the glass as Deckard just slices through the USF defense like an Olympic skier on a slalom. Taylor back in front by 7, 19-12 with 1:40 to go in the opening quarter. Buck right side high, down low to the cutting Applegate. Her right-hand shot is good, and Stratman got her on the back with a push. 5 first-quarter points for Emma Applegate. First foul on Stratman. That's the 5th one against Taylor here in the opening quarter. Bradbury will exit, and B. Books will come back in for TU. And Applegate will complete the 3-point play. She's the best player scoring-wise here in the opening quarter for USF. She's got 6 of their 15, and with 90 seconds left, Taylor leads by 4. The Trojans break the backcourt pressure. Books, this is B. Books, stops on the right side high. Back to the near sideline, and Deckard with Applegate shading her. Deckard drives, slaloms in again, bouncing outside for an Abby Books 3-point try, which is off the right side of the rim. There's B. Books hustling for the ball, almost poked it free. She did, but couldn't get the loose ball as McBriar scooped it off the floor. Buck goes in around Huffman, bank shot too strong, but there's Whitney Will coming crashing in. She steals the rebound away from Abby Books and puts it home for her first field goal. Taylor's lead down to 2 at 19-17. The Trojans have they've out-rebounded USF, but a bad pass by Huffman, and now USF has an opportunity to tie or take the lead as Will intercepted. Applegate trailing, McBriar high left side with 41 seconds to go in the quarter, and Deckard fouls McBriar on the take. Taylor already has put USF in the bonus, and so free throws coming for the Cougars. St. Francis a 75% free throw shooting team. They're 3 of 4, or they're 2 of 3 from the line so far this afternoon. And McBriar, a good free throw shooter with an opportunity to tie the game. She makes the first, and she's got 4. Bradbury and Garrett back in for Taylor to replace Stratman and Huffman. Tyon McKenzie comes in to replace Hinton. And Applegate exits for USF as Crow comes back in as well for the Cougars. McBriar's 2 free throws give her 5 in the contest. And it ties our game at 19. First time we've been even since the game was knotted at 0. Abby Books open 3 to give Taylor the lead back. That one glances off the front rim, but there's twin sister Becca to haul in the miss. Right corner Aubrey Wright, 28 to shoot. Taylor can hold for the final shot with the clocks almost identical. Abby Books will fling it near side to an open Aubrey Wright 3 try, which is off the right side of the rim, or the left side of the rim, and Abby Books will have the miss. Shot clock turned off with 16 seconds left, and Taylor can hold for the final shot. First quarter dead even at 19 apiece. 7 to go in the quarter. Flare screen intended for Abby Books. Right side, deep 3 right. That one off the right side of the rim. Tapped by Bradbury to Books, who gets mauled, and she's fouled by McBriar on the putback try. McBriar was in the right position, just got her hand over the forearms and pulled Abby Books down to the floor. First one on McBriar, the 4th one against St. Francis in the quarter. And Abby Books to the line for 2 to give Taylor the lead back. The first one rolls in. First point for Abby this afternoon. Taylor in front 20-19. And the second one. Yep. 0.5 of a second left, so just a catch and shoot. They'll get it into Buck in the backcourt as USF. No shot attempt. And after 1 quarter of play, Taylor leads by 2, 21-19. They led by as many as 6 and 7 at a couple points in that opening quarter. We're back with quarter 2 after this here on the Trojan Sports Network.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
The Trojans were 8 of 20 from the floor in the first quarter. USF 6 of 15. The St. Francis Cougars much better from 3. They're 3 of 4. Taylor 2 of 11. Books to the left block, and Garrett double team. She's caught, whips it around to B. Books. Wright has it on the right side high. Down the lane she goes. Left-hand dribble. Garrett attacks. Weaving in. Jump set. Stop into contact. Outside of the corner, and Bradbury with 8. Double team comes on the drive with 7. Down low to the cutting Aubrey Wright, but her shot is smacked away by Tyan McKenzie. McBriar up the right side of the floor for St. Francis. Buck to give USF their first lead of the afternoon. No, it hit the rim, but then bounced up off the basket support. Buck 0 of 2 from three-point distance. And Taylor still in front, 21-19 after each team has had the ball in this opening quarter. Or the second quarter, I should say. TU from left to right and white. They're the 10th ranked team in the country. St. Francis, they're clad in black. They are 25th in the land. Aubrey Wright out near the volleyball line. Buck guards B. Books on the near side arc. Books pivoting. Now to A. Books with 10 to shoot, and McBriar guards her. Abby flips to Bradbury with 8. With 7, she'll drive, pull up. A contested jumper from 15 is short. Garrett has it, knocked away by McKenzie, and USF has it with Buck running the point for the Cougars. So Taylor 0 of 2 to start here in the second quarter, and USF another opportunity to tie or take their first lead. Garrett guards McBriar. Crow for the lead. Right side 3 off the right side of the rim. Will try to tap it away from Bradbury. She'll throw it out into space near side, and nobody there as Garrett had to watch it bounce away from her. Almost 90 seconds into the quarter number 2. Taylor and St. Francis still scoreless in our second stanza. The Trojans still out front, 21-19. Taylor had a 7-point lead at 10-3 in that opening quarter. They're outscored 16-11 to close it. Shot clock is at 30. And they'll say that it's a turnover against TU. McKenzie out near the center jump circle, walks it in with B. Books defending her. McKenzie passes behind Will, intercepted by Abby Books. Crow hustles back to cut her off, and Abby Books will veer to the right and wait for reinforcements. Now she attacks with space. The floater from 5 is good. 4 points for Abby Books. First points for anybody here in the second quarter. And a nice steal and pull-up from Abby Books. 4-point Taylor lead. A. Books with 4 points. Buck directs traffic with her left hand. Now points with her right, dribbling with her left. She gets right around the screen, whips it outside to Crow and make it a 1-point game. Nope, off the right side of the rim. Bradbury has it with Will riding her back. And Taylor looks for an over-the-back call that won't come. Bradbury another rebound. 2 threes in a row missed by Crow. Bradbury claps, top of the key with Will defending. B. Books shifting around the arc left side floor. Left hand bounce against the short of McBriar. Stops, bounces to the cutting. A pull-up jumper by Bradbury is good. 11 for Kendall Bradbury. The Trojans on a 4-0 start and a timeout taken by USF. That's a 30-second stoppage here for the Cougars. The Trojans back in front by 6. A quick 4-0 start to the second quarter. No changes to the 5 for either team. It's Crow, McBriar, Buck. Actually, there's one change. It's Dejanay Hinton and McKenzie. McKenzie exits Hinton, comes back in for her, and Whitney Will. Start on the floor for St. Francis. The Trojans have their starting 5 on the floor. The Books twins, Bradbury, Garrett, and Aubrey Wright. 4-0 start for Taylor here in the second quarter. Buck on the high right side, defended by Abby Book. She looks at the clock and drives, kicks out to Hinton. Open look, left wing 3 short. That's 3 straight misses from 3. Buck goes crashing in. She had the inside position, and Garrett cut her off. And that's Lacey's second personal foul. The first one against either team here in the second quarter. So the Trojans, we'll see how long they want to ride with Garrett with the 2 personals. Remember, they do have Jamie Netzley dressing for the first time this season after sitting out the first 3 or 4 months of the season with an injury, but she's only been practicing with the team the last couple of days. Hitting down the left side of the lane, got away with the travel, and there it comes from the far side of the floor. She planted and then drug that plant foot as she tried to stop her momentum going down the lane. Crow exits for USF, and Applegate comes back in for the Cougars. Applegate, 6-foot sophomore out of South Bend, Indiana. She's out there with a 6-foot sophomore in Whitney Will from Fort Recovery, Ohio, which is just across the state line, and you can actually pick up, there's actually a station in Portland, Indiana, radio station that carries Fort Recovery athletics. Buck guards Garrett, left sideline Bradbury, contested 3 over Will is good at the end of the USF bench. Second triple for Kendall Bradbury. She's got 14 to lead the game. And Taylor's got a game-high lead of 9 at 28-19. The Trojans on a 7-0 start to start the second quarter. Will left side circle. Bradbury defends man-to-man. Left-hand bounce. Bradbury cuts her off. Will jets it far sideline. Hinton trying to shake away from right. Nice spin move. Bank shot missed. Buck has it. She's tripped. And Abby Books is called for the foul as Savannah Buck has been putting her nose everywhere a loose ball is, and she has been beating Taylor routinely to rebounds here in this opening half. The 5'6" junior out of Fort Wayne has been a thorn in Taylor's side rebounding-wise. That's a problem for the Trojans, both with Buck gobbling up rebounds and Abby Books, who has to exit picking up her second foul. Deckard comes in to spell her, and A-Books goes down and has a chat with head coach Jody Martinez at the end of the bench. Inbounds pass, Applegate trying to bulldoze her way in and does. A left-hand set shot through B-Books. First points for USF come with 6:23 to go in the second quarter, and they trim their deficit down to 7 from the game-high 9. Deckard fakes a pass. B-Books catch and shoot 3 straight on off the right side of the rim. Bradbury taps it once, tried to back tap it out again, but could not find anyone dressed in white. Then Aubrey Wright snatches the ball away from Savannah Buck. McBriar pokes the ball away as Wright got loose with a dribble. And it goes out of bounds and stays here with the Taylor Trojans. Coaching matchup, Jason Ridge in his 4th season at USF. Taylor led by second-year head man and 19th-year head coach overall, Jody Martinez. Wright shimmies out to B-Books, right wing. Buck fell, got back to her feet. Wright had her hands in the air. Play stopped momentarily, and then Hinton took the ball away from B-Books. Hitting to the right side of the floor to the cutting Will. Deckard cuts her off. Hinton high right side, mismatch with Bradbury potentially. Hinton shimmying and shaking, carried with the ball. Taylor looks for it, won't get it, and Hinton throws it in with the right hand. A bucket for Hinton, her first. And a quick little answer here by USF. They've trimmed their once game-high 9-point deficit, now down to a manageable 5. Almost halfway home here in the second quarter. Right side wing, B-Books drives around McBriar. Double team comes from Applegate. Around the arc, it's whipped to Deckard. 13 to shoot, Deckard measuring. Bradbury looking for the play. She can't find it. Nice hesitation and drive from right. Outside to Bradbury. Wants to pull the trigger. Step left side 3 ball off the back of the rim. And then Garrett comes careening into Buck. And the ball goes out of bounds. And the Trojans get away with one there as Garrett jumped right into Savannah Buck, who had inside position. And Savannah Buck and head coach Jason Ridge have every right to be as upset as they are right now. Garrett was completely careening right into Buck. And the Trojans get away with one there. Another opportunity for Taylor to build on this 8-point lead. Deckard, or 5-point Deckard wants to make it 8. Her 3 is off to the left, but a long rebound is snatched away by B-Books. Taylor just 3 of 14 from long range. There's a nice move by Garrett out to the left wing and right. She'll fake a 3 and drive. Up top, the pass goes to Deckard. Buck guarding her. Less than 5 to go in the second quarter. Taylor with the ball leading by 5. Left sideline, Lacey Garrett around the Deckard screen, whipping into the right wing. Nice head fake, step left wing 3, right, good. 3 ball, Aubrey Wright. She got Whitney Will to leap into the air. And Taylor leads by 8, 31-23 on their 4th 3-point basket of the afternoon. Will mid-post right. Garrett comes in to knock the ball away. Then Deckard will tie her up inside, and the held ball will send it back to Taylor. The Trojans pounced on the weak side as Will tried to spin over that right shoulder. And then three. No, they'll say it stays here with the USF as Taylor got the ball to start the quarter. I apologize for the misinformation. And how about that? A nice rousing ovation for Jamie Netzley as the junior makes her first appearance of the season. Inbounds the Crow, right fouled her. Crow missed it. She took a hard spill but gets back to her feet. So good to see Jamie Netzley, the pit bull in a pair of high tops, out there for TU. She almost floated when we saw her on Wednesday. She got to practice for the first time all season on Wednesday and almost floated. She was so excited. Crow to the line for 2 free throws. She'll make the first. She's got 4 points tonight. And a nice rousing ovation as Netzley checked in. Second one from Crow, both good. She's got 5. She'll exit, and Dejanay Hinton comes in to replace her. 6-point Taylor lead. They've led by as many as 9 here in this second quarter, with 4:25 to go before halftime. TU from left to right and White. Hinton will cut off right near the timeline. Nice bounce pass from Deckard down to Netzley. Will put her hand in there and cut it off, and the ball goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Taylor as Will had her back on the baseline, and now Deckard will deal it in. You heard head coach Jody Martinez mention if Netzley was needed, she would come in. Well, she's needed now. Deckard gets it into right on the near side of the floor. Right drives, left hand, left wing pass. Bradbury fakes the 3. Outside over Netzley's head. Deckard all afternoon to shoot, and she hits a deep left side high 3. 5 points for Meredith Deckard, her first 3 ball, and Taylor ties a game-high lead of 9 at 34-25. Less than 4 to go here in the second quarter. Hinton right side. B-Books cuts her off. Pass to the near side, and Buck with Deckard defending. Buck jabbing with that left foot, now dribbles with a right hand. Picks it up, down low to the cutting Applegate, and B-Books chipped her as she cut down the lane. First one on B-Books, third one against Taylor here in the quarter. As Applegate cut free, a little body check there from B-Books sent Applegate down to the parquet floor. Everybody's okay, and Buck will get it in with a fresh 30. Baseline left into Will in traffic, back out to Buck near side corner. Hinton drives from the left side circle. Taylor looks for a push-off that won't come against Hinton. Near sideline, Buck with Deckard defending her. 19 to shoot. Buck between the legs dribble, almost lost it. Right side high to Will. Fakes the pass, drives, double team comes. Up top, Applegate has a 3 already this afternoon. That straight line shot is off the left side of the rim, and Kendall Bradbury has her 7th rebound of the afternoon. To go with that game-high 14 points, and Taylor leads by 9. Netzley out near the volleyball line. She touches the ball in an offensive set for the first time this season. Left-hand drive, Netzley, mismatch on Applegate, trying to go up and under, off the glass, it just misses. Will has it, and then Netzley will be called for the reach-in as Jamie tried to tie up Will. First on Jamie, the 4th one against Taylor here in the second quarter. And now Netzley will come over. No, there'll be the 5th one against Taylor here in the second quarter. And now Netzley comes over and gets a couple coaching points from the head coach, Jody Martinez. 2 free throws here for Whitney Will. She's 1 for 2 this afternoon. The first of this trip is perfect. 4 points for Whitney Will. Netzley out. Abby Books back in with those 2 personal fouls. Second one from Will. Rattles halfway down and out. But a lane violation called against Taylor. Buck, Hinton, Will, Crow, and I believe it's Bree Cumberland who's come in for the first time for USF. Will can't make the extra free throw after the lane violation. It's actually Torben back in, excuse me. I saw the 5, did not see the first numeral. Taylor up by 8. They've led by as many as 9. USF has yet to lead this afternoon. Abby Books up top as Taylor goes from left to right in white. USF defends in a very tight man-to-man there in black. A skip pass near side to Deckard. Around to an open Abby Books. Her right side circle 3 catches the right side of the rim and bounces away on a good look from A. Books. She's 0 of 4 from three-point range. Crow will run the point. She goes accelerating down the lane around Abby Books, and a left-hand drive is good. Crow with 4 here in the second quarter. She's got 7 for the game, and Taylor's lead is down to 6. At 34-28, 2:24 to go second quarter. A-Books dribbles and stops at the top of the key, floating into traffic, trying to find twin sister Becca. And then in that traffic, Hinton collides with B-Books and sends her down to the floor. And that draws some cheers from the St. Francis fans across from us. First on Hinton, the first one against USF here in this second quarter with 2:11 remaining before halftime. Shot clock resets. Near side arc is right, guarded by the taller Will. One dribble up top to Deckard. Buck gives her plenty of space, trying to run the screen and roll with B-Books. The pass was too far for Books, and it's intercepted by USF's Sydney Crow. Buck to the trailing Will, near side, weak side bank shot is good as nobody came back to cover Whitney Will. Will with 6 3-points here in this quarter. And the Taylor lead, which was once 9, is now down to 4. Wright trying to change that with a left-hand driving layup, and she does. All 5 of Aubrey's points have come in this second quarter, and Taylor back in front by 6. Buck around a Will screen. Bradbury comes to hedge. Now Deckard comes to defend. Hitting the catch and shoot. Left corner 3 long. The only one there is Abby Books for the rebound of Taylor. USF 3 of 10 from three-point range. Taylor not much better there, 5 of 18. Less than 90 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Both coaches barking out instructions across from us. One dribble, Deckard up top. It's Bradbury. Hinton defends right up top. 10 to shoot. Bradbury, a little fake 3-ball over Buck is off the right side of the rim, and it's Sydney Crow's rebound down low. Kendall just 1 of 4 from three-point range. Taylor is now 5 of 19. Torben will jet one near side around a fake a screen, then Torben loses it out of bounds. Torben did a great job to fake the screen and then cut in. That caught her defender off guard, but the pass from Buck was right off of Torben's hands, and she might have taken her eyes off of it, and it goes out of bounds and back to Taylor. Turnover number 7 against St. Francis here in the first half so far. Lauren James back in for Taylor. James replaces Abby Books as USF applies full court pressure. B. Books near sideline. James back to the far sideline and Aubrey Wright. Wright attacks, down low to the block, and Bradbury mismatch against Buck, and she just bulldozes in and just abuses Buck to the cup. 16 for Bradbury. She's 7 of 13 from the floor. The game high 16 gives Taylor a 38-30 lead. And then James is a thief and pokes it away from Will, and then she's fouled as she went racing up the left side of the floor. Second on Will, second one against USF in the quarter. And that'll bring Tyan McKenzie back in to replace Will. McKenzie, a 5'8 freshman from Plainfield, Indiana, and Brownsburg High School. A 38-30 Taylor lead. They've led the entire way. Their lead has been trimmed down. They've been tied once, I should say, at 19-19 after those Lauren McBriar free throws. And then they call Aubrey Wright for a travel with McKenzie defending her. Taylor head coach Jody Martinez not happy with his team's 7th turnover of the first half. Emma Applegate back in on an offensive-defensive substitution for St. Francis with 30 1/10 of a second left to go in the first half. USF can hold for the final shot, trailing by 8 at 38-30. Between the circles, Buck walks it. Actually across the center jump circle, I should say. So only a 1/10 of a second difference, so this should be the final shot of the half. Buck waits, and now the play comes. Far sideline to Crow. Dribbles with her left hand up top to Applegate. Quick handoff to Buck with Deckard trailing. 6 to go in the half to McBriar. A corner rainbow three is an air ball with 3. B-Books up to Bradbury. A three-quarter court one-hand heave is just wide right as somehow Bradbury got that shot off with a right hand fire. We head to the halftime break. Taylor up by 8, 38-30. Here on the Trojan Sports Network, we're back with the BSN Sports halftime report after this commercial break.
Play that old song. You really wanted to play it. That's what's really going to evoke the memory. You got to have the music, man. You listen to it.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center, a proud corporate partner of Taylor University Athletics.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 6 different levels of membership for you to choose from. You can join for as low as $100, all the way up to the athletic director level for $1,500. Each level receives premiums, complimentary season tickets, as well as gifts from the athletic department. Members also receive special recognition during halftime of the annual Silent Night game. In recent years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics, like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-5311 or log on to athletics.taylor.edu and search Trojan Club. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University's student athletes.
Back here inside Odell Arena, Rick Johnson with you. This is the BSN Sports Halftime Report, and at the break, number 10 Taylor leads number 25 St. Francis by 8, 38-30. The Trojans led by 2 at the quarter, 21-19. They outscored USF 17-11 in that second quarter. The Trojans led by as many as 9. At one point, St. Francis has yet to lead this afternoon. Taylor shot 43% from the floor in that first half. They were just 5 of 19 from 3. So, from 2-point range, they were 10 of 15. Yes. I haven't done math in a while, so we're going to 10 of 15. If anyone's at home checks it and it's wrong, I apologize. I haven't taken a math class since high school, which was many, many eons ago. They were 3 of 3 from the line. St. Francis 10 of 27 from the floor. They were 3 of 11 from behind the arc, and they went to the line 9 times and made 7 free throws. Taylor had one player in double figures. That was Kendall Bradbury with a game-high 16 points on 7 of 13 shooting. She also had 7 rebounds in that opening half. Becca Books followed her with 8 points on 3 made baskets and 2 threes. Aubrey Wright had 5 points for Taylor, all in that second quarter. Meredith Deckard with 5 points off the Taylor bench. And Abby Books had 4 points. No points in that opening half for Garrett, James, Stratman, Netzley, who made her season debut, and Sydney Huffman, with Netzley and Huffman the only ones taking shots from Taylor off the bench in that first half. For USF, they again are without their leading scorer, Savannah Buck, for the 3rd game in a row. So picking up the slack is Emma Applegate. She had 8 points to lead St. Francis in the opening 20 minutes. Whitney Will had 6, and Sydney Crow had 7. Lauren McBriar, a year plus removed from that ACL injury in the preseason a year ago. She had 5 points for St. Francis on a 3-point basket and two free throws. Savannah Buck had 2 points, but she affected the game a lot in other ways. She had 4 rebounds to lead St. Francis. She also had 4 assists, but she also had 4 of their 8 turnovers. Dejanay Hinton also had 2 points for USF. Tyon McKenzie and Alexis Torban all played for St. Francis in the first half, but they did not score. Rebounding was an issue for Taylor in the opening half. They allowed USF to get 6 offensive rebounds, and there were some timely offensive rebounds as well. Taylor out-rebounded St. Francis by 4 in the opening half, and they also had the edge on the offensive glass 9-6, and that led to an advantage in second chance points at 9-2. Bench scoring in Taylor's favor 5-2. Points in the paint in Taylor's advantage as well, 18-14. And they also the Trojans did 8 St. Francis turnovers into 5 points. Taylor turned it over 7 times in the opening 20 minutes. It led to just 2 St. Francis points. This has been the BSN Sports Halftime Report. When we come back, we'll have the third quarter of action here from Odell Arena. At the break, it's number 10 Taylor 38 and number 25 St. Francis 30. This is Taylor women's basketball here on the Trojan Sports Network.
The decision you're making is about so much more than where you'll spend the next 4 years. It's about how you'll live the next 40. So let me break down the Taylor University experience. We integrate faith and learning to become well-rounded, lifelong learners, while delivering a deeper knowledge of our specific areas of study. Whether you're producing award-winning films, building satellites for NASA, or preparing for a national ethics debate, Taylor will push you to excel in your field. But excellence isn't always about having the right answers. Sometimes it's about asking the right questions. Taylor is interdenominational. That means we can't always fall back on specific church doctrine to settle issues. We rely on scripture and the dynamic nature of iron sharpening iron to better know the God who's not afraid of our question. Much of this happens in the small town of Upland, Indiana, the place where Taylor does life together. But don't let this small town fool you. The schedule is packed with things to do, and through these activities, faculty, staff, and students become more than individuals occupying the same address. They become a community. But this community isn't limited to the campus. We travel, boy do we travel. We are ranked as one of the top 10 schools in the country for overseas experiences. But it isn't just about the going. It's about the sharing of those experiences and being challenged by those who come to Upland as their international experience. Taylor is one of a few Christian colleges that expects all students to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. Now, this doesn't mean Taylor is a Christian Disneyland, full of cardboard cutout perfection. Taylor is full of real people with real problems, and living together can get kind of messy. But in that mess, we take Jesus' call from John 13 seriously. We practice picking up our towel and dealing with the mess in each other's lives. We're not here just to follow the rules for 4 years. Instead, we hope to learn to live authentic lives, calling each other to lives of meaning. Every day, our focus remains on the 40, not just the 4. We'd love to show you more about Taylor. Come visit, sit in on a class, go to chapel, spend a night in a residence hall. Experience the difference for yourself.
The Taylor University campus store, with their innovative textbook butler delivery service and name brand Taylor apparel and gifts, supports the Trojans year-round. The campus store, powered by Tree of Life Books, is a proud corporate partner of TU Athletics. It's easy to find something to show off someone's TU pride with 2 campus locations, one in the Dome and one in the campus center near the food court. The store is also open 24/7 at taylorcampusstore.com.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments, in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria, it's our taste.
One historical note that we forgot to mention, when I say we, I mean me. With the 16 points in that first half, Kendall Bradbury has now scored 2,400 career points right on the nose. Taylor will start with the ball to start this third quarter. They've got their 5 starters out there: Lacey Garrett, Aubrey Wright, the aforementioned Kendall Bradbury, and the Books twins of Abby and Becca. They go from right to left, and white do the Trojans. They lead by 8. They've led by as many as 9. Garrett caught just inside the arc, pitches it back outside to Aubrey Wright. Now to Garrett up top, right-hand bounce. Buck gives her plenty of space. A-Books will fling it to B-Books into the corner, and Garrett fumbles it away, gets it back with 9 to shoot. Lacey attacks left hand. Aubrey Wright, step back corner. 3 is good, and a great start to the third corner as Aubrey Wright knocks down her second triple in a row. She's got 8 points, and Taylor has their first double-figure lead of the afternoon. They are up by 11. Good way to start this third quarter after a rough-looking possession. Whitney Will, left side high. Bradbury gives her plenty of space, daring Will to shoot a 3. Buck, guarded by the taller Abby Books. Cross court skip to Crow. The 5 starters back out there for USF. McBride, the one that we have not mentioned yet. The Books twins double team Buck. They got it to Applegate. Her three-point shot was missed. There's Lacey Garrett diving on the parquet floor, and she knifes the rebound away from McBride. Now it's Aubrey Wright accelerating, cutting, dishing. Bradbury bulldozing into Buck, and she banks it in with a right hand. The Trojans out and galloping. And it all started with that beautiful offensive rebound, or defensive rebound, snatched away by Lacey Garrett. Applegate goes into Aubrey Wright, and they get Aubrey for a block. Her heels looked to might have just been on the inside of the restricted area. Second one on Aubrey. She took a beating from Applegate as the 6-foot sophomore put that big shoulder right into Wright, went center sprawling back. But it looked like Aubrey's heels were inside the restricted area, and Applegate will go to the line for 2 shots. 13-point Taylor lead, now 12 as Applegate makes the first free throw. Her first trip to the line tonight. Dejanay hitting quickly into the lineup here for USF. She replaces McBride. Second one from Applegate. Both are good. And Applegate's the first USF player in double figures. She's got 10. The Taylor lead down to 11, 43-32, as Taylor scored the first 5 points of this third quarter, just like they scored the first 5 points of the game. 90 seconds gone, quarter number 3. Taylor up by 11. They go from right to left. Wright stops. Garrett, no-look dish to the corner, and Abby Books being hounded by Buck. Beck spins in the air, missed the shot. It's tapped to the baseline on the right side and snagged away by Aubrey Wright. Shot clock did not reset as it sits currently at 8 seconds. And so Taylor will inbound the ball from the baseline right. Wright to get it in. Smacks the ball, looking for help. To the right sideline it goes to Lacey Garrett. Buck guards her. Garrett almost got it knocked away by Crow, but she got the ball back. Plenty of time to work with the fresh shot clock. Bradbury jabbing, faking, driving, stopping, passing. Lacey Garrett left wing. Buck cuts her off. Garrett steps away, keeps the dribble alive. Here's Books driving, Euro step, left-hand shot off the glass, tapped away, and Bradbury will knock it out of bounds. It is deflected off of Applegate's hand after that. And Taylor will get the possession will keep possession once again. An 11-point Taylor lead, just over 2 minutes into this third quarter, B. Books from the parking lot, straight away, 3 is good over the taller Whitney Will. Becca Books, her third triple, and she's got 11. And Taylor up by a game-high 14, 46-32. Crow fakes the 3, puts it on the deck. They'll spin it around the arc, does USF. Driving and slaying it home is Applegate. Nice move by the 6-foot center to get in. She's got 12 to lead St. Francis. Again, the Cougars doing this all without their leading scorer, Kara Gurka, for the third game in a row. Wright drives, Hinton bumps her. Second one on Hinton. This is the first game of our doubleheader this afternoon. The men's teams of Taylor and St. Francis will play after our game concludes here. Shot clock resets to 30 after the foul by Hinton. Becca Books fakes a pass to Bradbury in front of her own bench, and will give it off to Garrett, and now off to Wright. A fake got Hinton in the air, picks up the dribble. Abby Books, a 3-ball from straight away, just halfway down and out. Hinton taps it away, and then Garrett tries to tie up Crow, and they get a reach-in foul on Lacey Garrett, and that's the Trojan point guard's third. Abby Books 0 of 5 from three-point range. Hinton exits, McBride back in to spell her for USF. So the 5 starters back on the floor for the moment. Here comes Alexis Torban to replace Applegate. So it's Torban, Buck, McBride, Crow, and Whitney Will. So 4 of the 5 starters out there. Torban, the only non-starter on the floor right now for St. Francis, as Applegate has a measured gait as she walks back to the bench. The 5 starters out there for Taylor. The Books twins, Garrett, Wright, and Bradbury. McBride, a 3 over Garrett from straight on, short, and it's rebounded on the near side of the floor by Abby Books. Brought the ball down near her hip, trying to pivot away, and then they get Savannah Buck for the reach-in foul, as Books had it in there, and Buck collapsed on that imaginary cylinder around the ball handler, Books. Second on Buck, second one against St. Francis here in this third quarter, and Buck sprints back, and she'll apply some light pressure on Lacey Garrett in the backcourt. Taylor goes from right to left in white. USF defends in black. They're in a man-to-man. Near sideline, Aubrey Wright. Outlet comes, and Bradbury straight on. To the right wing, and Garrett Thought about a long two. Aubrey Wright wants her third three in a row and gets it. This one from the high left side. 3 triples in a row for Aubrey Wright. She's the third Trojan in double figures. She's got 11, and Taylor has a game-high lead of 15 at 49-34. 6:10 remaining in the third quarter. Garrett trailing McBriar as she runs around on the offensive floor. Will, high left side, guarded by Bradbury. Wright comes to help. Will almost threw the ball away, but Torban able to haul it back in. Left corner to Crow, jab step, got into Wright's body, spun and pirouetted and threw the shot off the glass, off the bottom of the backboard, and it's rebounded away by B. Books. Garrett running, finding B. Books, fakes, almost got space in, got Crow in the air, and then Becca traveled with it. A head fake and a pump fake, and then a travel, to the displeasure of Taylor head coach Jody Martinez, whose arms are folded in anger across from us. Taylor has outscored USF 11-4 here in this third quarter. They currently lead by a game-high 15. Buck goes right around the screen, goes right in and with an easy right-hand layup. First point since the opening quarter for Savannah Buck. A nice dribble drive from straight on. Makes the Taylor lead 13, 49-36. 5:24 and counting here in quarter number 3. A. Books up top. Right-hand dribble. Outside the arc, right side. Garrett to right, fakes a three and goes. To the corner, Bradbury. She'll fake and drive on Will. Get right to the rim, throws it up and missed it with her back to the basket, but she'll go to the line twice on the foul from Lauren McBriar. Second one on McBriar, her second, team's third. And Kendall to the line for 2. She's got a game-high 18, one of 3 Trojans in double figures, and a rare free throw miss there by the All-American. Meredith Deckard in for the first time here in the second half. She will spell Abby Books. Whitney Will out for St. Francis, and Applegate will replace her. Will sit down next to head coach Jason Ridge as he draws something on the dry erase board across from us. Kendall missed the first free throw. She'll switch the second. Kendall with 19, 16 in the first half, and Taylor back up by 14. One off their game-high lead of 15. Buck guarded by Deckard. Bradbury helps off a switch. Back to Torban, whose three is off the left side of the rim in the glass, and it's rebounded by Taylor's Lacey Garrett. Garrett trying to go end-to-end around Buck. Got into the body of Torban, and it's a block on Torban, and Garrett will go to the line for 2. Garrett made up her mind at the top of the key, got away from Buck, got that space, and then went right in and tried to throw it in off the glass. Lacey to the line twice. Her first trip today. The first one hits the front rim on a straight line. She kicks out those legs, and you can hear Taylor head coach Jody Martinez yell in the background to slow down. This is something the Trojans have worked with Garrett a lot with. The second one hits the front rim and dances off. Bradbury had it knocked out of her hands. It'll stay here with Taylor as Torban pleads her case. 4:47 to go in the third quarter. Taylor up by 14. They've led by as many as 15. And Josie Kolkman will come in for USF. First time we've seen her today. Kolkman, a 6'2 sophomore out of Fort Wayne. She'll guard Bradbury, right corner, who bounces it to Garrett, who spins it around the arc to B. Books. Jabbing with Applegate guarding her. Deckard far sideline, almost put Crow on her heels into the court. B. Books left side to the top of the key, and Bradbury, Applegate defending, hand down. Bradbury shifting and driving. She draws 3 defenders. Open, Deckard, 3 ball. No, and Wright comes storming in and taps the ball away from Buck. Back to Deckard. The 6'2 sophomore guards her. Deckard directing traffic. They try to exploit the mismatch with Crow guarding Bradbury. Wright almost traveled to a catch and shoot. Becca Books 3, halfway down and out. Weak side rebound was Deckard. It goes off of whom? Applegate, and they'll stay with Taylor. Jason Ridge not happy, looking for a travel against Aubrey Wright. 28 to shoot as Books will get it in the far corner. She backs up a couple paces from the sideline to get some extra space. Wright open, still open, so she'll shoot. And she'll miss off the back rim. Weak side rebound, Becca Books tapped it in the air, but no one there for Taylor to haul it in. First miss for Wright from 3-point distance after making 3 in a row. Buck wheels and Wright will steal the pass intended for Kolkman. Here's Wright running up the floor. It's got Deckard to her right, and then Buck took it right away from Aubrey Wright in transition. Crow Backing it up, open three ball. Books let her take it, and she missed it. The weak side rebound snatched away by Lacey Garrett off the floor, and now here comes 22 in white wheeling. Near side B Books up top to right, looks down to Bradbury. Back to the near sideline, and Garrett to the left wing, and B Books guarded by the shorter Buck. Two fakes to her left, and then Books will deal it off to Aubrey Wright. Far sideline, Garrett, she'll drive right in through everybody. Her reverse layup with the right hand is no good. Aubrey Wright gets away with an over-the-back call for Taylor, and then as Garrett tried to knife in and get another rebound, Crow knocked her to the court. Jason Ridge is 5 feet onto the floor right now, and one of his assistants have to pull him off the floor. And this place is quiet, so now they can hear every word that Ridge is saying. He is upset with our head official, pointing at both of them. Ridge has been assessed a warning, and he is still giving our referee and crew an earful. A full timeout has been called by USF. And the ball will be out on the near side. It's a full timeout for St. Francis. We'll try to clear this all up when we come back. 3:12 to go in the third quarter. Number 10 Taylor leads number 25 USF 50-36 here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body. And its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
The foul before the timeout was on USF's Sydney Crow. It was her second and the fifth one against St. Francis here in the quarter. Jason Ridge still talking things over with the official that he gave an earful to before the timeout was called. Lauren James did not check into the scores table. She will now. And with Taylor in the penalty, or in the bonus, Garrett will take 2 free throws. The first one is off the right side of the rim. Lacey's free throw shooting has been improved this season at 73% coming in, which is miles better than what she did before in her first 3 years here, and she knocks down the second one. So Garrett gets a breather after making the second of 2 free throws. That's her first point this afternoon. And Lauren James will make her first second half appearance. The free throw for the Trojans ties a game-high lead of 15, and they've outscored USF 13-6 here in this third quarter so far. Buck guarded by Deckard in the man-to-man. Near sideline, McBriar fakes and moves to her left. A three is rainbowed short, and it's pulled off the floor by B. Books. McBriar 1 for 3 from three-point range. A long pass from the far sideline is gathered in by Deckard. B. Books back to Deckard, right sideline in front of the Taylor bench. Deckard a left-hand dribble with the Trojans ahead by 15. Dribble, pull-up, three-ball, hit off the front rim, short, bounces off the floor, and Abby Books has the miss for Taylor. That's the Trojans' 16th offensive rebound today. It's led to just 9 second-chance points. An off-ball foul called against someone for St. Francis, it looks like, or a Taylor timeout. Nope. A push on Sydney Crow of St. Francis. That's her third, I apologize, her third. And with Taylor in the bonus, Abby Books will go to the line for 2 free throws. The first one is good. Abby with 5. A whole slew of Cougar subs come in. Tyon McKenzie, Sam Walsh. Bree Cumberland looks to be coming in as well. She will. And Shanae Temple. So it's 5 bench players on the floor right now. The only one that we've seen before the last 3 come in were McKenzie, who just came in, and Kolkman, who's been out there the last couple of minutes for USF. Abby Books knocks down both. She's got 6. And Taylor has a game-high lead of 13 at 53-36. They've outscored USF 15-6 here in this third quarter. Newcomer is Walsh. Fakes. Pass tapped away. Deckard trying to snatch it in, and she does. Deckard up the right sideline. She's got to wait for reinforcements. Here's James trailing. Fakes the three. And now off to Deckard from straight away. Temple guards. And now Temple will switch back to James. Down to Abby Books. His defender fell down, and Abby banks it in. Falling down was McKenzie, and A. Books is on a personal 4-0 run. She's got 8. And Taylor continues to add to their game-high lead. Total, they're leading by 19, 55-36, with less than 2 minutes to go in the third stanza. McKenzie guarded by James. The man-to-man, McKenzie got into James's body. Her right-hand flip bounces off the glass, and Bradbury will be called for the foul. Trying to go for the rebound. Nope, make it on Becca Books. I apologize. So B. Books exits. Haley Stratman comes back in. That's the third foul against Taylor in the third quarter. First time we get to see Haley here in quarter number 3. 1:42 to go in the third. All bench players out there right now for USF. Temple, and they get Deckard for the push, and she is unhappy with it. Palms of the sky. Second one on Meredith. Fourth one against Taylor. Here in this third quarter. Cumberland will get it in to Kolkman over the shorter Bradbury. Shot was spun off the rim. Temple will get the offensive rebound as Deckard did not want to pick up her third personal foul. Walsh waving through. Stratman will collapse on Walsh as she pivots and tries to find help. She'll put it into the belly of Temple, who keeps the ball away from a cutting James. Pass into traffic in the paint. Able to gather it in was Cumberland, and she'll dribble away from trouble. McKenzie waving for help, gets a screen. Stratman goes and fouls McKenzie. After Taylor had been clean on the foul department for most of this third quarter, they have now put USF into the bonus as well, as Stratman picks up her second foul. Both teams in the bonus for the final minute 12 in the third. McKenzie to the line for 2. Her first one. Too strong off the back of the rim. And Stratman will go over and talk things over with Taylor head coach Jody Martinez. Second one for Tyan McKenzie, and she makes it. That's McKenzie's first point of the afternoon. 55-37, the Taylor lead. And that's the first point in a long while for USF. The Trojans had ripped off 6 points in a row. A. Books up the near sideline, off to her classmate Stratman, and then now around to the sophomore James. Behind the back dribble with Temple defending, out to Abby Books. Has a little bit of space. She'll go down the right side of the lane. Off balance, shot off the glass is good for Abby Books. A. Books on a personal 6-0 run. She's got 10. The fourth Trojan in double figures, and Taylor has a game-high lead of 20. With 40 seconds to go in the third quarter. Pass goes off the right side of the noggin of Stratman, and then Kolkman collides with James. Kolkman still on the floor. Bodies everywhere. The tie-up comes. Kolkman back to her feet. But she and James collided, and Kolkman got hit on the side of the head. She is back to her feet, which is good to see. Alternating possession. We'll keep it here with St. Francis. As Whitney Will comes in for USF. She replaces Kolkman. Aubrey Wright back in for Taylor to replace Lauren James. 34 seconds to go in the quarter. 13 to shoot for USF. They get it into Hinton near side arc as they attack the basket to our right. Hinton down the left side of the lane into Wright's body. Missed the shot strong. It goes out of bounds. Last touched by St. Francis. Shot clock turned off with 26 1/10 of a second to go in our third frame. Taylor with a game-high 20-point advantage. They've outscored St. Francis 19-7 here in this third quarter. They've got Stratman, Abby Books, Wright, Deckard, and Bradbury. And as Wright went sprinting to the front court, Taylor head coach Jody Martinez reminded her to hold for the final shots. Game clock reads 12. Books almost had it taken away, goes out of bounds. Lauf of Abby Books as Tyan McKenzie jumped in and poked the pass away on a weak pass. 10th turnover by Taylor here in the game. USF with 10 as well. And now it's St. Francis who can hold for the final shot with 9 seconds left in the third. Temple in the backcourt. Deckard guards her. 5-4. Will the high middle screen. Temple won't take it. Down the lane to the corner. McKenzie, a 3 before the horn, goes off the right side of the backboard and will go out of bounds. So Taylor outscores USF 19-7 in the third quarter, and we head to the fourth with the Trojans leading by a game-high margin of 20 points over number 25 USF, the 10th-ranked Trojans, looking to move their record to 13-4 here in 2018-2019 and here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center, a proud corporate partner of Taylor University Athletics.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
As you can hear over the PA system, Taylor's ball to start the fourth. Savannah Buck has actually, we mentioned the first where she got hit in the face, took the gauze out of that right nostril. She's clean right now in the nose department. The Trojans start with their starting 5 on the floor. The Books twins, Abby and Becca, Aubrey Wright, Lacey Garrett, and Kendall Bradbury to start this final quarter of play, with the Trojans leading by a game-high 20. First possession, fourth quarter, Buck and Wright collide. Wright looks up looking for a call that will not come. 8 to shoot. Garrett gets it off the B-Books with 6 to shoot. Now 5, now 4. Ball knocked away. McBriar on the floor. Garrett has it with 2. And they get Lacey for a travel as she was trying to spin away on the parquet floor away from McBriar. The USF, they start off with McBriar, Crow. That's Lauren McBriar, Sydney Crow, Whitney Will, Emma Applegate, and Savannah Buck. They're starting 5 here in this fourth quarter. Taylor outscored St. Francis 19-7 in that third. Garrett jumps the pass, deflects it to the scorer's table, and he'll stay here with the visitors from Fort Wayne. Taylor ahead by 20. It's their largest lead of the afternoon. They've led the entire way. They were tied once at 19. They have not yet trailed. Applegate in the corner, a 3 on the way, halfway down and out. A-Books had it for a moment, couldn't gather it in, and it's rebounded by Sydney Crow. Will drives, cut off by Wright on the help. Now they find an open Savannah Buck in the corner for a left 3. Tapped away, and Kendall Bradbury has it as she sends her teammate Books tumbling down to the floor. 8th board for Kendall Bradbury to go with the game-high 19. The Trojans have 4 in double figures for the 5 starters. Garrett up top between the circles to Aubrey Wright, who's at 11 this afternoon. Both teams empty on their opening possession of quarter 4. Bradbury storming in, and she's fouled on the arm by either Buck or Will. It'll be against Buck. That's her third, and the first one against USF here in our fourth quarter. So Bradbury the line for 2. Kendall 1 or 2 for 3 this afternoon, and let's make it 3 of 4. She has 20. The second one, front rim and gets the bounce. 21 for the All-American, who passed the 2,400 career point plateau with 16 points, or with her 21 points so far today. McBriar drives, throws it off the glass, missed, but it looks like Lacey Garrett picks up her 4th personal foul, and it will be. So McBriar to the line for 2 free throws. The first one will spin off the right side of the rim by McBriar. Lauren, one of the top guards in the Crossroads League. It's good to see her playing without that knee brace on after tearing her ACL before last year's season even started. That's her first point since she scored 5 in the opening quarter. She's got 6, and the Taylor lead is down to 59-38, just underway here in our fourth quarter. Taylor from right to left in white. USF defends in black. Someone yells in jubilation. B-Books driving, spinning, cut off at the left elbow, outside to Garrett in the arc. Will guards. Crow had it, knocked away. Did it go off of Garrett's knee? And it did. A good job there by Sydney Crow to put her hand in there against the driving Garrett and deflect the ball away from Lacey and off of Garrett's knee and out of bounds. Buck will jog across the Trojan logo at center. Will, an open three right wing. That one missed everything except the glass as it went over the rim. A rebound for Aubrey Wright. Aubrey's got 4 of those now today, but now another turnover by Taylor. Taylor head coach Jody Martinez not happy across from us. Buck in transition. Wright fell down, and Buck lays it in with the right hand. Third bucket for Savannah Buck today. She's got 6. And the Taylor lead is 19 at 59-40. 2.5 minutes gone here in our fourth. B-Books from the high right side drives in around Buck. Can't get the bank shot to go. Good defense by Buck. And then a reach-in foul is either against Books or Wright of Taylor. It'll be Aubrey. That's her third. And the second one against Taylor in the fourth quarter. Dejanay Hinton comes in for the first time in the fourth quarter for St. Francis. She replaces Whitney Will. Taylor and St. Francis came into today both in a 3-way tie with Grace for third place in the Crossroads League standings, all with identical 3-2 league records. Hinton, high right side, holds in the near sideline, guarded by B. Books. Buck guarded by Abby Books. Bradbury knocked it away, and it's stolen by Books. Bradbury's back was turned. She turned around just in the nick of time to save the ball, and then a timeout is called just before Bradbury had the ball knocked away. Taylor getting a little sloppy here in this fourth quarter. A 30-second Taylor timeout. After they forced the steal on the other end, they almost turned it right away with Bradbury running up the floor, but her back turned to her teammates. We're back with more after this here on the Trojan Sports Network. .707 remaining in the fourth quarter. Taylor up 59-40. They've never trailed. We've been tied once, and that was at 19 on a pair of McBriar free throws back in the first quarter. Garrett to the right block and Bradbury. She'll dribble away from trouble and bounce out to Aubrey Wright. Jump stop, tough pass to the baseline. Becca Books off balance, missed it. Abby Books had a chance at the rebound. It goes out of bounds off of Savannah Buck, and it'll stay here with Taylor as the ball goes off of the St. Francis point guard's hands. Aubrey Wright will deal it in with 14 to shoot. Near corner to Garrett. Weaving in. Outside Abby Books looking for her first 3 of the afternoon, and that one brings rain, and it slices right through the cup. A. Books missed her first 5 threes, makes her 6th try, and she's got 13, and Taylor goes back in front by 22. Taylor looking for a travel. Tough pass in traffic, and Crow got it from McBriar, and then no one stopped Sydney Crow, and she had a clean look at the rim. First second half scoring for Crow. She's got 9. Garrett lost the ball. Bradbury comes to help, trailing the play. Again, Taylor's been sloppy here in this fourth quarter, coming in with a 20-point lead to start the fourth quarter off. We're almost 4 minutes into the fourth. Garrett trying to spin away from trouble. Over to Abby Books, left side circle. Bradbury mismatch on McBriar, goes right through her, and all McBriar could do was foul her. Third one on Lauren McBriar, and that'll put Bradbury to the line for 2. Second one against St. Francis in the quarter. And here's 2 for Kendall Bradbury, where she's 4 of 5 this afternoon. A game-high 21 points. And now let's make it 22. Whitney Will back in for USF to replace Applegate. Kendall the leading scorer and leading rebounder in the game as well, with 8 caroms to her name. And now 23 points. Trojans up 64-42, 6 minutes exactly left to go here in the fourth. Taylor trying to move to 13-4 on the year and move to 4-2 in the league. McBriar contested 3, good over Garrett from the right wing. Good looking shot for the quick release of Lauren McBriar, and she's got 9. Again, that's her first field goal since the opening quarter. Now USF applies pressure in the backcourt. Wright with a dribble, almost knocked away, shot to heave it away desperately. And finally, Taylor was able to take a timeout with 25 seconds left on the shot clock. They had 5 seconds to get it across the timeline, but Wright was in danger of being called for a 5-second violation with the ball stationary. It will be a full Taylor timeout. We'll take it with them. 5:38 remaining in the fourth. Taylor up by 19. The 10th-ranked Trojans lead the 25th-ranked St. Francis Cougars here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center, a proud corporate partner of Taylor University Athletics. It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Out of the Taylor timeout, Bradbury will heave it to the other end of the floor. There goes Aubrey Wright racing for it. They'll bounce on the sideline as Bradbury threw it up the sideline instead of towards the middle of the floor, and so Taylor will turn it over. USF saying that it should be inbounded where Bradbury threw it from, that would be the right call unless the ball bounced in play and then bounced out of play. We didn't get a good look from our angle here as the ball was inbounded on the other side of the floor across from us. Our 3 officials huddle up, and they'll say the ball never bounced in play, and so USF will deal it in right where Bradbury threw it in from, which is in the farthest most corner across from us at the end of the St. Francis bench. 14th turnover by Taylor this afternoon, 3 more than St. Francis. That will be something that head coach Jody Martinez is not going to be happy with. McBriar near side of the floor, back to the far side, or from Buck to McBriar, excuse me. Wright switches and defends. If it's on Garrett, that'll be her 5th. And it is. So Lacey fouls out. Meredith Deckard will come in to replace her. Lacey's line today, 1 point, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. As Taylor tried to get the help on the switch. That's the 3rd foul against Taylor in the 4th. Again, Deckard will come in to replace McBriar. It's Crow up top. Back out to the cutting Hinton. To the left block and Hinton. Down low to the cutting Crow. From behind shot was altered by Books. That's Abby Books, and then a tie-up between Crow and Wright. We'll keep it here with USF. 30 to shoot with 5:13 to go in the 4th quarter. And Buck will get it in baseline right with a fresh 30. Ball snatched right out of the air by Abby Books. Nicely done. Now off to Becca. And now up the floor it comes to Aubrey Wright. 5:05 to go in the 4th. Taylor leads by 19. They've led by as many as 22 here this afternoon. Wright drives on McBriar, stops to the corner, and B-Books will fire a 3 and bang it home. 4-3 of the afternoon for B-Books. She's got 14 points. And Taylor up by 22, 67-45. Crow wants to answer with a 3 of her own and does from straight away. Crow with 5 fourth-quarter points. After missing 3 threes in a row, she makes one here. And a kick ball in the backcourt by Whitney Will as USF again ramps up the defensive pressure. The Taylor lead back down to 19, 67-48, with 4:37 to go here in the 4th quarter. B-Books will heave it, this time in the middle of the floor, caught over the shoulder by Wright, and she's off to the races around a defender. Her bank shot was too strong. And then McBriar tried to save it out of bounds, but as she did, she stepped on the baseline. Colts fans hope that would be a T.Y. Hilton, or an Andrew Luck to T.Y. Hilton hookup that we just saw from B-Books and Aubrey Wright in their playoff game coming up in about 2 hours from Houston. Tyan McKenzie back in for USF. She replaces Crow. and Deckard will deal it in baseline right. Right wing to Bradbury, high right side to Aubrey Wright, up top to Abby Books. Hinton was late to switch out to B Books. Wants her second three in a row and gets it this time from the near side of the floor. Fifth three of the afternoon for B Books. She's got 17 points. And Taylor up 70-48, and then Abby will be called for a hip check. That's Abby Books as she guarded Savannah Buck on the drive. Third on Abby. And Buck will get it in baseline right to McBriar with that quick release, so Deckard guards her tight. McBriar outside the arc to Buck. Her three is off the back right of the rim. B-Books had it, knocked away by McKenzie, saved beautifully into Will, who banks it in. The Trojans had the opportunity there to get another rebound, but it was taken away, and then Will banked it home for another deuce. Taylor's lead is 20, 70-50. B-Books trails Abby Books. Deckard calls for it in the corner. She won't get a three off as Buck collapsed onto her. Passes in double figures, and then coming in, McKenzie wildly, and she smacks Bradbury in the mouth. And Taylor head coach Jody Martinez pleading for a call across from us. McKenzie came in wildly and tried to jump and knock the ball away and caught Bradbury right in the grill. 3:48 to go in the fourth. Taylor up by 20. They've led by as many as 22. Aubrey Wright will run the point with 8 to shoot straight away. Guarded by McBriar. 6 to shoot, now 5. To the far sideline, Deckard with 4, with 3, with 2. She doesn't know how much time is left and won't get the shot off. Sydney Crow back in for St. Francis to replace Savannah Buck. And with 3:29 to go in the fourth, Taylor on defense, they lead 70-50. The Trojans, the 10th ranked team in the country, St. Francis number 25. A couple shifty moves from Crow. Able to get back to her feet was Abby Books. Hinton drives. Bradbury got into her. And Bradbury knocked the headband off of Hinton. That'll be the first on Kendall. Fifth one against Taylor in the fourth. That'll put Hinton to the line twice, her first trip this afternoon. So USF in the penalty. And Hinton's first freebie is good. Dejanay Hinton, a 5'7" sophomore out of Fort Wayne. She's got 3. And now 4 as she makes both free throws. Taylor's lead is 18 with 3:12 to go. Backcourt pressure applied by USF. B-Book stops, back to right on the near side. She'll step across the timeline with Whitney Will defending her. 3:02 and counting here in the fourth. Right sideline, Deckard. Left hand bounce up top to Bradbury. 2 defenders collapse. She'll wrap a pass around to Aubrey Wright. 9 to shoot, B-Books, right wing. Bradbury drives in, bangs into Whitney Will, and Whitney Will draws the charge on Kendall Bradbury. Taylor head coach Jody Martinez and his assistant, Natalie Young, both saying that Will's heels and feet were inside the restricted area. But their pleads will fall on deaf ears. And that's the second foul against Kendall Bradbury. 18-point Taylor lead, 2:49 and counting, with St. Francis with the ball going from left to right in black. Will, a high middle screen, now resets it. Crow to the right block, up and under move against Books with a little left-hand shot is good. 7 fourth quarter points here for Sydney Crow. She's got 14 to lead St. Francis this afternoon. And USF chipping away here, trailing by 16 with 2:25 to go in the fourth. B-Books fouled by McBriar on the help. Fourth one on McBriar. Third one on St. Francis. Make it the, fourth one on McBriar. 2:22 to go in the fourth, and again, Taylor's got to deal with the full court press. Their best press breaker, and Lacey Garrett on the bench right now, fouling out. Wright runs the break beautifully to Bradbury, who lays it in. Kendall with 25, Taylor back in front by 18. Great little run up the middle there by Aubrey Wright to break the press. Crow will call out the play with Savannah Buck, their point guard, on the bench. Right side circle, Will. Near sideline, Hinton. Wright guards her for Taylor. Bradbury comes to help on a switch. McKenzie in the paint. Right hand shot too strong. And Bradbury rips down the rebound, her 9th. 23-9 for Kendall this afternoon. Right up the floor, near sideline, Abby Books. Rainbow three is off the front of the rim, and Wright almost got her fingertips on it but couldn't tap it away. Abby's had a struggling day from three-point distance, just 1 of 7 from downtown. 93 seconds and counting to go in the fourth. Taylor on defense, leading by 18. Hitting around a screen to Will in the paint. Goes in, lost the ball on the way up, and it's rebounded by Kendall Bradbury. Shayna Temple at the scorer's table to come in for USF for the next dead ball. Wright drives, kicks to the corner, and Taylor will swing the ball around the arc. McKenzie went into the air for USF to go for the block, and Aubrey Wright dealt the ball away before McKenzie could come in and get another block. Catch and shoot three, B. Books rattled halfway down and out. The miss hits the floor, gobbled up by Whitney Will of USF. B. Books 5 of 10 from three-point range today. Crow weaves around the arc at spun. Will's second try from three, that one long. And there's a rebound for Becca Books. She's fouled from behind by Sydney Crow. That's her fourth and the team's fourth. 7th rebound today by B. Books. Temple back in for St. Francis, replacing Mac Breyer. 45 and a tenth of a second left. Treasure Hurst in for the first time today for St. Francis to replace Will. Temple in as well, and USF will call off the Dogs. They'll back everybody up to the other side of the floor across the timeline. And Taylor will dribble this one out. They will have to take a shot with the difference between the game and shot clock enough to require a shot. The Trojans will go into the weave up top. So they will win today going away. They were tied once in 19. Other than that, no real danger to speak of. Hurst guards Deckard with 8. Bounce pass to the baseline behind the cutting B. Books and out of bounds for Taylor's 17th turnover today. As Bree Cumberland enters for USF, replacing Crow. The shot clock turned off with 21 seconds left. And Taylor will improve to 13-4 on the year and 8-1 here at home. To the near side, catch and shoot three, hitting from the right wing, short, tapped in, and Abby Books will have her 7th rebound today. And she'll walk into the front court. Taylor will pick up their 13th win of the year. They now move to 4-2 in Crossroads League action, and at worst, they will stay in a tie for 3rd in the Crossroads League standings today. We'll take a break, come back, and wrap this one up on the Ivanhoe's postgame show here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Back here inside Odell Arena, Rick Johnston now joined by the head coach of the Trojans, Jody Martinez, here on the Ivanhoe's post-game show. Your team improves to 13-4 on the year, 4-2 in Crossroads League play. Got kind of sloppy there in the fourth quarter, but what did you think about your team's dominating third to really put the game out of reach?
You know, the big challenge and the big question was, did I give them too much time off? And, you and I talked yesterday about we'd have to wait to conclude this game and give you a better answer. And I thought once we got the momentum back in the first half, I saw good halftime energy in the locker room. It was just a matter of just executing, and I thought the girls did great chemistry. The third quarter. But third quarter has been kind of our strong suit all year. And, once again, I was real pleased with our defensive effort second half. Once again, we held a team below their average. And, it's just a good start to 2019.
You had 4 in double figures. Aubrey Wright had 11. Kendall had 25. The twins gave you, Becca had 17, and Abby had 13. To see so much nice balance, what was that like today?
It was good. It's, once again, I think, the biggest reason for the long break, I felt like, was to give the starters mental, just the rest, physical rest. Abby did not shoot well, and I thought she did other things well for us. But when you look at the four stars in double figures, that's going to be tough to contend with if that can become consistent, and that'll be our challenge, is can that be a consistent thing? And our bench gave us some few good minutes. I thought Meredith hit a couple shots there, but the bench came in, gave us the few minutes of rest that starters needed. And, this is a tough contest. I know Gurkha didn't play, but like I said yesterday to you in the meeting, they played really, really well without her the last 2 games, and that included a ranked team at Shawnee State, where they had the lead and just lost it on the last second 3. So, like I said, I'm real pleased to kick off 19 with the win, and we'll see what happens from there.
She only played a little bit today, but what was it like to see Jamie back out there playing for you guys? You've only had her in practice for a little less than a week, and she had a nice ovation from her friends down below us. What was it like to see 20 back out there for you?
She can thank her starters for getting in foul trouble, because it was not part of the game plan to get her in yet. She hasn't proven in practice she's ready. It's great to see her on the court. She's going to bring us energy. She's going to bring us some tenacity. I'm excited that she's back, but I still think she might be a couple weeks away based on what I've seen in practice the last 3 days.
Good luck Wednesday night at Indiana Weston. We'll talk to you before you guys take on Mount Vernon a week from today.
Hey, that's awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's Jody Martinez joining us on the postgame show. We're back to wrap it up after this.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center, a proud corporate partner of Taylor University Athletics.
The Taylor University campus store, with their innovative textbook butler delivery service and name brand Taylor apparel and gifts, supports the Trojans year-round. The campus store, powered by Tree of Life Books, is a proud corporate partner of TU Athletics. It's easy to find something to show off someone's TU pride with 2 campus locations, one in the Dome and one in the campus center near the food court. The store is also open 24/7 at TaylorCampusStore.com. As you can see, the men's teams from Taylor and St. Francis getting ready for the second game of our doubleheader this afternoon, so we will give you the abbreviated version of the Ivanhoe's postgame show. Taylor wins by a final of 72-54 to move to 13-4 on the year, 4-2 in the Crossroads League, and 8-1 on the home floor. Taylor was led in scoring by Kendall Bradbury, who had 25 points. She got close to a double-double today, also leading the game in rebounds with 8 or 9. The Trojans had 4 in double figures. Aubrey Wright stuffed the stat sheet today, 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 7 assists. Abby Books had 13 points, and Becca Books had 17 points as Becca knocked down 5 threes. We will come back. We'll stop our women's basketball broadcast. We'll come back and get you ready for the men's basketball game between Taylor and St. Francis here this afternoon. The Trojans women's team win, and they will be on the road Wednesday at Indiana Wesleyan before coming back home next Saturday to take on Mount Vernon Nazarene here on the Trojan Sports Network. We're back with men's basketball coverage after this commercial break at this long pause on the Trojan Sports Network.